All desires are known, and from whom no secrets are hidden. We know that you have never neglected us, for if you did, our very lives would cease to be. Continue pulling us to yourself. Guide us in our journey, and continue to hold us close to your bosom until our days are done on this earth. Be with us now, tonight, and may we feel your presence as we gather for this auspicious occasion. We pray that these proceedings will not just be mere ceremonies, but that they will reflect the substance of Upper Darby and its 86,000 residents and its remarkable mosaic of diversity across every ethnic, cultural, and religious backdrop. Gracious God, make each of us an instrument of your grace. Weave us together as your own tapestry into an Upper Darby community showing forth your power and tenderness. Bless us and our differences, and undergird our courage to stand together. We call on you tonight to gather us in your love, and please lead us to a better future on each step of the journey of our lives. God, we pray tonight for the foreign-born among us, who form a full quarter of our collective identity as a municipality. And we with one tongue rejoice in the over 80 languages spoken in our homes and places of worship. We ask that you bless them as they make Upper Darby their home, even as they never forget from whence they've come. God, we ask that you bless each and every one of our families and that you prosper them, that you hold them together by your grace. God, we ask your blessing upon our women, our majority demographic currently making historic gains in changing the face and function of our community. Continue to break the glass ceilings that they continue to progress through. And God, we ask that you bless our youth, a full 25% of our population. Help them to dream dreams even as we who are older see visions as architects for a better Upper Darby. And God, we ask that you bless our businesses. May they flourish as they operate with integrity and excellence while serving the various needs of our diverse community. And God, we ask that you quell all crime and misdeeds, stay the hand of evil. Give your angels charge concerning every street, avenue, pike, and place in our shared community. And most of all, God, we ask that you grant us unity. In these divided times, help Upper Darby live up to its own motto, the world in one place. As the book of Ephesians charges us, help us to be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love, that we might make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. And finally, God, bless these public servants being sworn in tonight by sacred oath. Bless them with wisdom and judgment, not only here and in chamber, but when they are out and about and in the community. Bless them with selflessness that puts the welfare of our community above all else. And bless them with a shared humanity that transcends all political affiliations and all party loyalties. Finally, bless them with a supreme commitment to servanthood that transforms Upper Darby into a guiding beacon of light for our commonwealth and the world at large. We ask all these things in your mighty and majestic name. Amen. Amen.
I will now read the call of the meeting. Upper Darby Township Council announces there will be a reorganization meeting on Tuesday evening, January 2nd, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. local time at Beverly Hills Middle School, 1400 Garrett Road, Upper Darby, PA. 19082. I will now take the roll call. Wagner,
She's excused.
excused. Branes,
Here.
Andrusko,
Here.
Blackwell,
Here.
Heyman,
Here.
Banto,
Yeah.
Tunis,
Here.
Phillips,
Here.
Minnick,
Here.
Silva,
Here.
Wentz.
Here.
Okay, so we have a majority of the council, so of course we know there would be a quorum for any kind of voting. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion for the election of temporary officers. I would like to ask for a motion for the election of a temporary
I
secretary.
would like to nominate Nancy Bolus.
I'll second.
Okay, since a motion was made and seconded, we can take a roll call.
Wait, don't you have to close nominations?
Oh,
You
I'm
have to
sorry.
ask for
You're
nominations
absolutely
3
right.
times
You're
before you
absolutely right.
close it.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any nominations, other nominations? Hearing none, then we can proceed to a vote. Heyman,
Yes.
Can you re-clarify the nomination? I did not hear them clearly. I don't
Nancy,
know who was nominated.
Nancy Bolus was nominated to be the temporary secretary.
Thank you.
And there were no other nominations.
I didn't hear the name spoken, so I just wanted clarification. That's all.
Oh, not a problem.
Thank you.
Heyman, you said yes? Yes? Heyman said yes?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Minnick?
Yes.
Wagner?
Excused.
She's excused. Tunis?
Yes.
Banto?
Yes.
Branes?
Yes.
Andrusko?
Yes.
Wentz?
Yes.
Silva?
Yes.
Blackwell?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a total of, all right, with a vote of 10 in favor and no nays, I am the temporary secretary. Thank you. I would now like to ask for a motion for the appointment of a temporary president.
I move that Hafiz Tunis be appointed, nominated as temporary president.
Second.
All right. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Having heard no further nominations, nominations are closed, so we move to the vote. Heyman,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Wagner's out, right? Tunis,
Yes.
Banto,
Yes.
Branes,
Yes.
Andrusko,
Yes.
Wentz,
Yes.
Silva,
Yes.
Blackwell? Okay, so with 10 in favor,
I'm sorry, can you hear us over here? You can hear us very well, because we couldn't hear it before. Can you hear it before? Can you hear it now? All right, thank you. 4th District.
sorry about that. Okay, so with 10 in favor, Hafiz has been chosen as the temporary president.
Thank you, Ms. Bolus. Do you have the election certificates for the candidates?
Yes,
Okay. This is the time set aside for the public to speak. When you hear your name, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. As noted on the agenda, Upper Darby residents have the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Residents are prohibited from making threats, using profanity, or acting in a manner that would impede or prevent the conduct of business of the meeting. Public forum should not exceed 30 minutes.
I do apologize with having trouble pronouncing the first name on the list. It looks like it may be Uvei Nankaluski of Copley Road, 286 Copley Road. Is that person here? Okay, we'll go to the next person, Michelle Schofield. Schofield? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
The microphone is placed up front here.
Good evening to all.
Good evening.
It's a matter of reiteration. We know the purpose for which all of you have been elected. David, our son, our brother, our relative, and our representative, councilman. We congratulate you. As I said, it's a matter of reiteration. You know the purpose for which you were elected and you will subsequently be installed. Politics has two edges, the sharp and the dull. It's like a knife. What you do, you cut off for good results. When you turn it the other way, it becomes dormant, no result. We urge you, in the discharge of your duty, be vigilant, be resilient, know what you do. We congratulate you once more. May God bless you all. Happy New Year to all of you.
Michelle Schofield.
Michelle Schofield, 519 Millbank Road, Upper Darby. I came here tonight and I signed up to speak because I just wanted to say congratulations to you, David, my neighbor. It's been an adventure getting to this point, and I'm really, really proud of you and all the work and dedication that you put in to becoming our next 6th District Council person. And to all of you who's been re-elected or newly elected, I am super, 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 super excited about you being here in this position right now. I don't even think I can really get as excited as I want to get, but I am so, so humble and honored to know each one of you and to continue to work with you in this next term. Congratulations, guys.
Barbara Ann Keffer.
Good evening, everyone. I also, like Michelle, am very, very excited for the future of Upper Darby with the new leadership that's in place. Congratulations to Danielle for your re-election, David for your election, Marion, and Ed. This is really great. I'm very proud to have supported all of you in the primaries and in the general. And I think we have a chance to kind of reset things. I'm only going to be mayor for a couple more minutes. So I think we did a lot of good things together during my administration. I know you're going to continue to do that and make the people of Upper Darby proud. And I'm just delighted to be here. It's a wonderful night. It's a wonderful night for Upper Darby. Thank you.
Heather Boyd.
Hi, I'm Heather Boyd, 315 Upland Way, Drexel Hill. Today starts a new chapter in our township's history, and I'm so incredibly honored to have worked with, campaigned with, and gotten to know all of you. Individually, you are strong, qualified representatives of our shared community, but together, you will guide our wonderfully diverse township to an even greater future. I'm excited for what's next, and I truly thank each of you for the work that you have done to get here today, and how you will work together for a better Upper Darby. I wanted to specifically thank our outgoing mayor, Barbara Ann Keffer. You have been a friend to me and a real trailblazer. You have taught me some very important lessons, and I want to share them with you all as you step into your new roles. Number one, local elected officials don't have to be perfect, but they do have to be committed to good governance. Number two, when you stumble or when you are pushed, get up, brush yourself off, and keep showing up with grace, honesty, and dignity. And three, haters are gonna hate. You can't stop them, but you can outwork them. To our incoming mayor, Ed Brown, we have campaigned together, served together, and have developed a strong friendship and a mutual respect. I look forward to your vision that you will do with this new team. I look forward to the new leadership on council to take down the temperature and the rhetoric, and I look forward to a new era of cooperation and shared goals and good governance. I know how hard this job can be, and I am so grateful to each of you for your commitment to this township and to the people you serve. Thank you.
Joanne Namanang.
Joanne Namavong, 133 North Pennock. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give the same type of comments that everyone before me has given, because I'm just going to continue with what I normally do. As we wait this coming week for the next meeting, I hope that everyone that's on council will consider, the thing I ask every time is, when is our 2022 audit going to be completed? It's now over 9 months late. Second, I had a question about the ordinance 3149, which is on the agenda for later on. Talk about public hearings on a budget, that there two have already been held, but I am sure that the two budget hearings we had are on a substantially different budget that I'm supposing you're going to be presenting, and I want to know, when is that new budget going to be presented, because we residents have not seen it, and it looks like you're only going to be doing one more public hearing. You know, it's just, you know, we're in the dark, so we would appreciate knowing what you're planning to do. Third, well, I guess I'll just end with this. So last Saturday night, the 23rd of December at 11:15, there was an argument on my street between two cars that were facing each other and couldn't get past, and shouting, screaming at each other. They got out of the car. One of the residents called the police about the argument, but it looked like one of them was leaving. But then, here they come back up again. The fella got out of the car, running around with a gun, and fired 2 shots right in front of my house. Now, I want to thank every police officer that showed up that night, because there was a lot of you guys, and I appreciate your quick response and your ability to arrest at least one person, and I'm hoping you're going to arrest the others, because I know they were involved. But I want to say to this, especially since Mr. Stolzheimer, you are here tonight, that this guy, even though it's not Delaware County, is from Philadelphia with previous arrests that were out, you know, got out of jail. When we don't prosecute crime, the crime keeps coming back. I don't want gunshots in front of my home. My daughters had a duck behind the couch. They were terrified. This is 7 years, almost to the day, after we had a home invasion where guns were pointed, were actually touching my daughters' heads. Okay? We need crime to be prosecuted in this county. So I hope you pay attention to what we residents in Upper Darby are saying. Prosecute the crime.
Becky Dugan.
Becky Duggan, 129 Pennock Avenue. I'm going to dovetail on what she was just speaking because I live on the same street as she does. I live on the same street that she lives on, and I was a witness, and saw the man running around. He hid right behind my car, watched him running up the street. So I would like to urge the administration to follow the lead of Cheryl Parker in her inaugural address today, where she said she was declaring a public safety emergency and was going to get more police officers off the street. I stand at these meetings meeting after meeting, and urge there to be more police officers. But I'm going to stop using the word more, and I'm going to start to say the word enough. Because the township of our size needs to have at least 30 more officers on the street than what we have now. So there's not enough. So I would like to urge the administration and the members of council to please consider this, to get enough police officers on our street, because he fired 2 shots last Saturday. What if it had been more? It come through my window while I'm on the phone with 911, is there to ask me to describe the man to them. And I'm afraid to even look out my front window. I don't know where you all live, but that's the reality of my life. Drug deals in the open on my street. I see them, I say, I don't want to look because I don't want them to see that I saw them. So I would urge for you to all please take this extremely seriously, because it affects our families and our lives. Thank you.
That is in the 4th District, just to mention it.
Sheikh Sadiq.
Hello. Hello, everyone. You all know me. I am Sheikh Siddiq, outgoing councilman of District 6, very soon going to be former. I want to once again express my gratitude to the people of Upper Darby for electing me to the council, and to my colleagues for their friendship and support during my years in office. Mayor Barbara Keffer accomplished so much during her 4 years in office, and I wish her very, very best for future. I was proud to support Mr. Ed Brown for our mayor, and I am excited to see what Mayor Brown will achieve for our community during his time in office. Our community needs a lot, and I know we have the right man to do the job. I wish to congratulate my friend Michelle Believe and Daniel Blackwell on being returning to the office, and also special thanks to Hafiz Tunis and Andrew Heyman in my council. I also want to congratulate the new member of the council, my friend Jess Branas, Marion Minnick, and especially David Banto, who going to be sit in my old seat in District 6. I pray for him and wish him a good luck to be a successful councilman of District 6 to serve the community. And I also, during my 8th year in the council, I worked closely with the council, with the mayor, administrative office to serve our community, especially District 6. I also work very closely with Upper Darby Police Department and also Fire Department to serve our community. I am very, very proud to our Upper Darby Police Department doing their great job for the community. I am also very proud to serve as the first Asian American Muslim councilman elected ever in Upper Darby Township. I will work very closely with the current administration to do the better things for our community.
Time.
And with that, I would like to congratulate all of you. Let's work together for the betterment of our
Sir,
community.
you need to stop
Thank
talking.
you.
Judy Dugan. You want to pass? Okay, so John Demasi.
Good evening, everybody. I'm actually going to change what I was going to say to the board. I'm actually going to address everybody that's here. John DeMassey, 706 Stanbridge Road. It's great to see so many people at a meeting and getting involved in the community. I personally wish, and I know a lot of the other members of the community wish it was like this all the time. We would ask from our community members who go to these meetings and to the school board meetings, and even if we're watching them on YouTube, that you come back and get involved. That you get involved with the kids in this township. The kids of Upper Darby need community leaders, not elected leaders. They need community people sitting in the chairs, going to the meetings, saying, let's get something done for them. Everybody here in this room will benefit if our kids are doing better. Everyone in this room will benefit if we come to the meeting and hold the members of council accountable regardless of political party, political belief, or anything that isn't, are you doing what's best? And it's obvious that when you come, it matters. I'm sure that most of the people up there would not be here if it weren't for you. So let's all work together, regardless of what side of the aisle we sit on, and make Upper Darby better. Thank you.
Don Fields.
Don Fields, 834 Blythe Avenue. What's great about listening to these public comments is that everyone wants essentially the same thing. They want the community to be safer, they want services to be better, and they just want improvements overall. So we all have that in common. The difference is in the details. But if you remember, we all just want improvements in our community, and we're all working towards that goal. We're all on the same side. Remember that. And when you speak to the council, because you come to a meeting, keep that in mind, that the council wants the same thing. They want improvements. They would not have put themselves through what they've put themselves through and what they're going to be putting themselves through if they didn't want that, because the outcome is worth it. Better communities, better neighborhoods, safer, more services, better schools, better facilities. It's always good. It's always positive. And that's what everybody in this room is working towards. Right? So keep that in mind when you come to these meetings, school board meetings, council meetings, county council meetings, that everybody wants the same thing at its core. They just want improvements. If you keep that in mind, it'll be a better experience. I wish my friend Ed Brown the best of luck. I wish my friends on council, all of you, the best of luck. It's a reset. It's not a new chapter, it's a new book. Work together. Right? You'll do great things. Stay on the same page. Thank you.
That concludes the open forum public comment.
Thank you, Temporary Secretary Bullis. Next will be the administration of the oath of office to the mayor and council members. I will now ask Honorable Carolyn H. Nichols of the Superior Court of Pennsylvania to swear in Counselor at Large Michelle Billups. If any family members would like to join Counselor Billups on the stage, and come up.
And your right hand raised. Okay. Ready? I state your name.
I, Michelle Billups,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
that I will discharge the duties of my office
that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity, that I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly any money or other valuable thing
any money or any
other valuable thing
any other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office other than compensation allowed by law. Congratulations.
Now, I would ask the Honorable Nusrat Love of the Delaware Court of Common Pleas to swear in Counselor at Large Marion Minnick.
I state your name.
I, Marion Minnick,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
that I will discharge
that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
that I will not
that I will not
knowingly receive, directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money
any money
or other valuable thing
or other valuable thing
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office other than compensation allowed by law. Congratulations.
Now I will ask the Honorable Benjamin Johns of the Delaware County Magisterial District Court to swear in 2nd District Councilor Jess Brannis.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ben. I state your name.
I, Jess Brannis,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
that I will discharge the duties
that I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity,
with my office with fidelity,
that I will not knowingly receive,
that I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money
any money
or other valuable thing
or other valuable thing
for the performance or the
for
non-performance
the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office
other than compensation allowed by law.
other than compensation allowed by law.
Congratulations. 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 We have to go. Jess, we have to go.
I would now ask the Honorable Carolyn H. Nichols of the Superior Court of Pennsylvania and the Honorable Benjamin Johns of Delaware County Magisterial District Court to swear in 4th District Councilor Danielle Blackwell.
Come on this side. Do you want to take the microphone and raise your right hand? Okay. I, and repeat your name,
I, Danielle Blackwell,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code.
and the provisions of the Administrative Code.
That I will discharge the duties of my office
I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity,
That I will not knowingly
that I will not knowingly
receive,
receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or any valuable thing
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act or duty
or any act of duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office
other than compensation allowed by law.
other than compensation allowed by law.
Congratulations.
I would now ask the Honorable Christopher Maddox of the Delaware County Magisterial District Court to swear in 6th District Councilor David Banto.
Raise your right hand. I
David Banto,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
and the provision of the Administrative Code,
that I will discharge the duties
that I will discharge the duty
of my office
of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
that I will not knowingly
that I will not knowingly
receive,
receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money
any money
or other valuable thing
or other valuable thing
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act
or any act
or duty
or duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office
other than compensation
other than compensation
allowed by law.
allowed by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge Maddox. Before we move to the next agenda item, I would just like to give a moment of time to our State Representative, Gina Curry, followed by our State Senator, Tim Kearney.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is so good to see all these faces here in Upper Darby. Give yourselves a hand. My name is State Representative Gina H. Curry, and I am grateful for all of our community members who have come out tonight and all the guests from other places that we know that this has been a very busy day across the Commonwealth with all the swearing-ins. So many of us are exhausted being that this is our last one, but so excited to welcome all of the new members of council and really in particularly Mayor Ed Brown. I just want to say, I just want to say that we know that there have been some tough times. We have just come out of a year that was tough for so many. And I want to say that we see points of joy in everything that goes on. I was just saying that to my colleague, Representative Boyd. Tonight is a point of joy. Tonight is a point of joy. We know we have a lot of work to do. We have things that we have to attend to. We heard from community members tonight. Everyone is not happy right now. There are things that are going on. But tonight is a point of joy. I want each of you sitting up here to take a look at your colleague next to you. Even if you don't want to, go ahead and take a look. And look at each other and know that you're gonna work together to get it done. Let's say it. We're gonna work together to get it done.
We're going to work together to get it done.
I like that. Ed Brown, congratulations, all the newly elected members here. We have a lot of work to do here in Upper Darby. Thank you to the honorable judges who have come back to Upper Darby many, many times. We're so happy to see you. And thank you to this wonderful council that I know we're going to get it done. Thank you so much. Let me introduce the Honorable Senator Tim Carney.
Hello, Upper Darby.
Hello.
It's always a joy to come. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. I could have gone a lot of places. We have a lot of municipalities within my district that were swearing in tonight, but I knew I had to come to Upper Darby. Upper Darby is the beating heart and soul of the 26th district, and it's so important, the work that needs to be done here and that we're all going to be contributing to. I think it talks about how important Upper Darby is in Delaware County, that we have Council President Monica Taylor here today, County Council President, and District Attorney Jack Stolzheimer came as well tonight. So again, it's really, it's learning about Upper Darby was such a great thing about running for the Senate when I did 5.5 years ago, and learning about all the communities, the rich mosaic that is Upper Darby, that really is where the strength from the community comes. And the representation that you have with council here and people on the school board certainly represent that in a way that's wonderful. I look forward to lending whatever help I can to Mayor, soon-to-be Mayor, Ed Brown. And we've already been talking to them about the things that we can do. In the Senate, I'm the Democratic chair of the Local Government Committee, and I serve on the Local Government Commission. The role of that committee and that commission is really to understand the intersection between local government and state government and how the communications can occur. So in all the swearing-ins we've been at today, there's a lot of talk about the ladder of government, about being able to work locally, being able to work in Harrisburg, and being able to work with our congresspeople and United States senators in Washington as well. And Upper Darby matters, and that's basically why we're here. So thank you again for letting me come. Thanks. Always a pleasure to be here. Great to see you all.
Next will be the administration of the oath of office to the mayor. I would ask the Honorable Carolyn H. Nichols of the Superior Court of Pennsylvania to swear in Edward Brown as mayor of Upper Darby.
state your name.
I, Ed Brown,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
that I will discharge the duties of my office
that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
that I will not knowingly
that I will not knowingly
receive directly
receive directly
or indirectly
or indirectly
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable things
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office
other than compensation allowed by law.
other than compensation allowed by law.
Congratulations.
Mayor Brown. Mayor Brown. Mayor Brown. Yes, that's the sign.
I can't do that. I want to. It's gonna be so hard. It's not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
No, yes. I'll give him a second. Okay.
I listened with great pride and admiration to the first African-American female mayor of Philadelphia today in her rousing speech. So we can give her a round of applause. And she spoke passionately and eloquently for 1 hour, so I'm going to try to be better than her by 1 minute. No, I promise I won't, but I will ask you to indulge me a little bit. I want to talk about what led me to get here. Is that okay? Okay. Thank you all for being here and sharing in this joyous occasion. First, I'd like to thank God for this moment. Those who know me understand that my spirituality means everything to me. I know that God allowed me to get here and has stood by me for every triumph, in every tragedy, in every peak, in every valley that I have experienced in my life. For those who don't know me, my name is Ed Brown, and I am just a native Philadelphian who grew up in Southwest Philadelphia in the 800 block of South 56th Street. I played basketball at the famous Sherwood Recreation Center, now called Albert Christie, and also at the legendary schoolyard of Harrity Elementary School. I share that just to let you know that I come from humble beginnings, and my background is probably not much different than yours. I graduated from Overbrook High School in their Scholars Magnet program. and then attended several colleges along the way, achieving a cybersecurity master's degree and an MBA from Capital Technology University and Drexel University, respectively. The significance of achieving this role as a black man and the first person of color is not lost on me. It's just not. I truly understand how important this is, and I take it very seriously. You see, I'm old enough to remember riding my bike in Upper Darby as a youth and knowing that you had to be out of the area before dark. That's the reality. That was widely known, so I'm proud to be a part of the evolution of a much better and more diverse Upper Darby. While I am the first person of color to be elected to this role, I am certain that I won't be the last. Upper Darby will continue to evolve and prosper, that I am sure. I'd like to spend a few moments talking about my family, some of which you saw on the stage proudly with me. Is that okay? Thank you. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my amazing parents, Edward Brown Sr. and Maggie Brown. They were both born in North Carolina, a few miles apart in Tarboro and Rocky Mount. They dated, and my father went into the Army and told my mother that he would marry her when he got out, and he did just that. They settled in Philadelphia, and that is where I was born. My mother was a teacher, and my father was a steel worker and later a forklifter. I developed my love and appreciation of education from my mother, which is why I taught for many years and also why I wanted to serve on school board. My father instilled the concept of hard work and taught me to never let anyone outwork you. He said, that is how you will distinguish yourself from the pack. There are many lessons still ring in my head, and I hope that I'm still making them proud. Next, I will talk about my queen in heaven, Sharita Brown, who literally molded me into the man that I am today. When they say, behind every good man, there's a good woman, that theory resonates in my head because I lived it, with the exception that she was in front of me, not behind me. We had an amazing, thank you. We had an amazing 26 years that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. And her legacy continues strongly in our three amazing children. Edward III, my namesake, is my oldest child, and he is literally a better version of me. I love experiencing the new and improved model, and I could not be prouder of the man that he has become. When we have a conversation now, it is two men supporting and loving one another. I love the fact that he is fiercely independent and crafting his own career and life and thriving both personally and professionally. Elijah Brown is my middle child and younger son, and there is no one that is good at so many different things that I'm aware of. He just hums along through life and never misses a beat. That young man had knee surgery last Thursday and used two crutches for 24 hours, and now, in my speech it said he only walks with one, but you don't see him with any. Amazing. He is determined to get back to 100%. I would have totally understood had he chose to rest at home, but he told me yesterday that he wanted to be here for me, and that means a lot to me. My heartbeat is my daughter Sierra, who epitomizes what it is to be a good person, determined to get the most out of life. How many people has ever seen a Facebook post of me bragging about Sierra? She is a precocious 10th grader with a ton of friends and thrives in many clubs, running track, and is also a great student. She has already earned college credit the last 2 summers in law programs from Stanford University and Johns Hopkins University. Wow. I am truly blessed to have the children that I do, and I'm very proud of that. I would like to talk about my mother-in-law, Christine Randolph, who is the mother of my queen in heaven, so I can honestly say that she gave me my greatest gift, so I'll love her forever. We grew close as possible, and we grieved our loss, and I can't imagine my life without her love and support. She is definitely a blessing in my life that I'm fortunate to have. Next, regarding family, I must mention that I was forged by the Dowd family on my mother's side, and the Brown and Pitt family on my father's side. My mother was one of 14 children, 7 boys and 7 girls. And I grew up with a host of aunts and uncles. One of my aunts is here tonight, my Aunt Ruby, and uncles, and many first cousins, several of which are here tonight, where our family vacation was our family reunion each summer, which we celebrated with over 200 people. Only COVID could stop over 50 years of reunions that shaped my love of family and my love of people. Next, I'd like to express my gratitude to Barbara Ann Keffer, who asked me a few years ago to consider running for mayor at some point. When she decided not to run for re-election, she contacted me first and said, "The time is now, duty calls." I am grateful that she has spent countless hours with me, helping me prepare for this role and facilitating a smooth transition from her administration to mine. I plan on continuing a lot of the wonderful initiatives that she started while also crafting a few of my own. I would be up here for hours if I had to mention everyone that helped me or motivated me to get here, but I will just mention a few. I consider Senator Tim Kearney a mentor, and I have for many years admired how he's dedicated to his craft and how he goes about his work. I will be proud to work with him more closely as mayor. Gina H. Curry is someone that has been a close friend for many years, and we started our political careers around the same time and also served the community as parents. We lean on each other and cheer for each other, so I'm happy to call her a friend and colleague in this space. I'll use her term, in this space. She likes to say that. Heather and I met while running for school board, and she is definitely one of the hardest working people that I've ever met. She is a natural leader, and I look forward to working with her in the future as one of my 2 dynamic state representatives. Rachel Mitchell is not here. She's sick, but she sent me a text message longer than my speech, but she's a longtime amazing school board director who asked me to run for school board many years ago, and we have been serving together since 2017. I was proud to serve with her, and she has proven to be a fantastic school board director. Don Fields now leads the board along with Deborah Williams as vice president, and I look forward to their leadership and their collaboration to continue moving the district forward. I would like to thank my Upper Darby Democratic family who has always supported me during every campaign and knocked thousands of doors on my behalf, so I am and will always be extremely grateful. I would also like to thank my Republican supporters who was able to look at me as a person, look at my track record, and publicly put their support behind me. I know that wasn't easy, so thank you. Lastly, thank you to the voters of Upper Darby who spoke loudly with their votes and overwhelmingly asked me to serve in this capacity. I appreciate your confidence in me and greatly look forward to serving as your mayor. I would like to briefly share my vision for Upper Darby since that is the most important thing that I am focused on. You probably already saw that I announced the members of my transition team, some of which are here tonight. They represent the amazing diversity and perspectives that exist here in Upper Darby and the surrounding area. As I fine-tune my agenda and vision for Upper Darby, I will lean on this group to fine-tune the plan ahead and work to improve our lives in many ways. These focus areas include public safety, and you heard some concerns tonight, and I heard them loud and clear, fiscal management, diversity and inclusion, ethics, accountability and transparency, senior and veteran services, quality of life, youth and young adult services and activities, and education. Those are my 8 tenets that I will be working hard on. My administration will seek the public's opinion and input as we work with this council to improve the lives of Upper Darby residents in every way possible. We won't be perfect, and sometimes we'll get it wrong, but we will work tirelessly to get it right and always be accountable for the decisions and actions that we take. I humbly ask for your prayers, your patience, and yes, your positivity as we work to help Upper Darby realize its full potential. It will be a group effort. Thank you, and God bless you all.
She got me worked up. Congratulations to Mayor Edward Brown and newly elected council members. We will now have the election of the President of Council.
I move to nominate Councilor Hafiz Tunis for President of Upper Darby Township Council.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, we will close nominations for President of Council.
I move to close the nomination for President of Council.
Sorry. I apologize. We will now do a roll call vote.
Heyman,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Tunis,
Yes.
Bento,
Yes.
Branes,
Yes.
Andrusik,
No.
Wentz? No. Silva?
Yes.
Blackwell? Yes? Yes. Okay. 8-2, therefore, Hafiz is President of Council.
Yes.
We will now have the election of the Vice President of Council.
I nominate Brian Andrusko for Vice President of Council.
I second that nomination.
I move to Andrew Heyman be placed in the nomination for Vice President of Council.
I second that.
Do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Accept it?
I do.
Okay. So there are two nominations on the floor.
So we vote for Councilman Andrusko first.
Andrusco?
She's going to do a roll call
Just give
vote.
us a minute to, okay, Andrusco. Okay, this is for Andrusco for Vice President of Council. Heyman,
No.
Phillips,
No.
Minnick,
No.
Tunis,
No.
Banto,
No.
Branes,
No.
Andrusco,
Yes.
Wentz,
Yes.
Silva,
Yes.
Blackwell, no, okay.
What was their vote?
Her vote was no. So 3-7. The nomination failed. Okay, now we need, this is for the second person nominated.
Councilor Heyman.
I'm sorry,
Councilor Heyman was the second
Council
person.
Heyman, okay? So Heyman,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Tunis,
Yes.
Banto,
Yes.
Branes,
Yes.
Andrusco,
No.
Wentz,
No.
Silva,
No.
Blackwell,
Yes.
yes, for Ms. Blackwell. So that's 7-3. So the nomination passes. Andrew Heyman is Vice President of Council.
Congratulations, Vice President Heyman. We will now have the election of Secretary of Council.
I move that we nominate Michelle Billups for Secretary of Council.
I second that.
Could you repeat that, please?
I second it.
No, but
Michelle Billups.
Michelle Billups. Okay, I just want to make sure we get this. Okay,
Are there any
Yes,
further
we're ready.
nominations? Hearing none, we will close nominations for Secretary of Council. The nomination of Michelle Billups as the Secretary of Council has been made and duly seconded. Can we please have a roll call vote?
Heyman,
Yes.
Billups,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Tunis,
Yes.
Banto,
Yes.
Branis,
Yes.
Andrusko,
Yes.
Wentz,
Yes.
Silva,
Yes.
Blackwell.
Can you
Yes.
start using the microphone?
Yeah, she said yes.
Thank you.
10 to nothing, that means that Ms. Billups is the Secretary of Council.
We will now have the administration of the oaths of office to the newly elected council officers by Honorable Christopher Maddox.
Do you want a microphone?
Family members, if you could please join us on the stage.
I guess we should be over here, right?
Repeat after me.
I, Hafiz Tunis Jr.,
in office,
7th District Council, President of Upper Darby Township Council,
I, Andrew Heyman,
Vice President,
Vice President,
I, Michelle Billups, Secretary of Council,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support,
that I will support
that I will support, obey,
and obey
and defend
and defend
defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the
the
Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Home Rule Charter,
the Home Rule Charter,
and the provisions of the Administrative Code,
and the provisions of the
Administrative Code,
that I will discharge the duties
that
that I will discharge the duties
of my office
of
of
my office
office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
that I will not knowingly
that I will not knowingly
receive, directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
valuable things
for the performance
for
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act or duty
of
of
any
any
act
act
of
of
duty
duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office
other than compensation allowed by law.
other than compensation allowed by law.
Congratulations to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, may I ask that the judiciary be excused at this time?
Yes, permission granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow, man.
Thank you, judges. Take his car keys.
Okay, the next agenda item is the President of Council. I am humbled and honored that the majority members of Township Council have entrusted me to lead the Upper Darby Township Council during this exciting time. As someone that has dedicated their entire professional career serving Upper Darby on the local, state, and federal level, I look forward to working with all council members to develop meaningful legislation for our township. I am also eager to work with Upper Darby Mayor Edward Brown and the incoming administration. I would also like to thank God for putting me in this position. I would like to thank my parents who were unable to be here tonight, my mother, Venus, who is the true definition of the American dream, a West African immigrant that put herself through nursing school and became a union nurse. She was a permanent resident of this country for over 20 years and became a United States citizen in 2021. Her first time she could vote, she was able to vote for her son. I would also like to thank my stepfather, Charles, and my late father, who gave me a lot of gifts, Hafiz Tunis Sr. I would also like to thank my college sweetheart and fiance, Marianne Batiste Esquire. The young lady who did not walk out on our first date when I talked her head off about local politics. I love you and I thank you for always supporting me and choosing Upper Darby as our home. Furthermore, as a proud graduate of Upper Darby Public Schools, attending Bywood Elementary, Beverly Hills Middle School, and Upper Darby High School, I would like to thank all my teachers and administrators whose wisdom and guidance helped mold me into the man I am today. Lastly, I'd like to thank my many professional and political mentors, many of who are political adversaries, but always find the need to give me great advice. Thank you all, and I appreciate you all coming here tonight. Before moving further, I have a couple announcements. The township has posted the vacant position of Chief Municipal Clerk, and the job description and posting is available at www.upperdarby.org/job. I will now yield 1 to 2 minutes of my report to newly elected council members to address their respective district. We will start with Councilor at Large, Marion Minnick.
Thank you. I feel absolutely blessed to live in our magnificently diverse township community, one of the most diverse township communities in America. Sincerely, I want to thank the residents for giving me this tremendous honor of serving you as your at-large councilman. I want you to know that I live my faith every day. I do this by being a natural nurturer and protector of my beloved community. Every election cycle, whether I'm running for office or not, I proudly knock thousands of doors. I do this because I want you and your families, our wonderful Upper Darby residents, to know that I will always have your back and will do my absolute best to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Minnick. Next, we will hear from 2nd District Councilor Jess Brannis.
How's everybody doing? I hope well. You will get to know this about me. I always try to write a speech and then I never end up using it. So get used to that because I like talking to everybody who's out there. I was new to the game, very new to the game in a very rapid fashion. And I couldn't do that without the support of everybody in Upper Darby. Half the people in Delaware County actually were out there knocking on doors and getting the word out as quickly as possible to get me here amongst so many wonderful people. I do want to thank my parents and my sister for being here, taking the drive out from Lancaster to be here with me today. My mother for giving me her sense of sarcasm that you will also hear throughout my time here on the council, and my father for definitely showing me the meaning of service to people, and my sister for being my best cheerleader with everything that I've done. But, you know, I know that change is hard. I know that this is new. I know I'm new. Many of us here are new. But it's needed to evolve. And I can tell you, I love not only just Upper Darby Township and the residents here for being a part of the process, but especially in the 2nd District for being a part of the process and showing up. And all of you show up. We don't know what needs to be changed unless we hear from you. And I have watched many of the council meetings, and I know you want transparency. I know you want to know the process. I know you want to know the timing of things, and we're going to try and give that to you. That is what I hope that my fellow council members and I can do for you. But most of all, we know that you want to be heard, and it's about time it happens. So I want to thank all of you for getting out there. I can't wait to work with every single person on this council, and let's make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Brannis. Lastly, we will hear from 6th District Councilor David Bantel.
All right. Who's in the back over there? Hello, everyone. What a night. What a journey. I'm going to be brief tonight because, I mean, the mayor just paid everything out there and we are here to work. So it's time to roll our sleeves and go to work. But let me begin here by thanking the Almighty God. What a great country, United States. Anything is possible. If you put your mind to it, if you can do it. I don't want to go back to my journey tonight, but I'm just going to take it from where I am here. I want to begin by thanking God for having me in this space. And also thank my family for putting it through this. Especially my little guys, 9 years old. He was campaigning with me, Daniel. He was knocking door because his dad wanted to be there for people who cannot speak for themselves. So tonight, it is a great night. This night is huge for me. It is huge for my family and where I'm from. As we speak, people are dancing in my village. I'm serious. The day I won the election, they had me on Facebook dancing live. Thank God for technology that I was able to see my family. A couple of years when I was born, you can't even make a phone call to the United States from anywhere. But now, I can talk to my people right in the village. That's a blessing. So tonight, I'm blessed to be here, to be with my colleague. As the mayor rightly put it, we are here to work. And my team, Team David, are you in the building? Oh my God. Thank you, thank you. When I started this journey, I called on you. All of the beat down, all of the doubt, I was underestimated. I don't even know where to turn. But you assure me that we will trust you, David, you can do this. And we are going to put it together. And you crafted a strategy and put a team together that led up to the victory that that have me here today. So I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. Now, this is what I'm going to remind you tonight, 6th District. I'm going to be very brief here. You know our story, 6th District in Upper Darby. Whether we like it or not, or we sugarcoat it, 6th District is one of the districts in Upper Darby that needs to be worked on. I can tell you that. And as your councilman, I'm going to do my best to do everything in my weak way, to work with my colleague across party line, to work with the mayor and push the agenda to move Upper Darby forward. But one thing I can assure my district tonight, Upper Darby will not move an inch without 6 districts moving. I can tell you that. That's my promise to you. So, Mayor, congratulations again. Congratulations to all council members. I'm excited to be with you, and hopefully, we are going to work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Banto. Mayor Brown, would you like to introduce the next item on the agenda?
I'm sorry, it's me next. 4th District, you missed me. I'm not sure if you...
Sorry, I yielded my time to newly elected council members. We'll be moving on to the next agenda item, which, Mayor Brown, would you like to introduce the next agenda item?
Yes.
I am a newly elected council member, President. You didn't show up?
Re-elected, not newly elected.
Okay.
Thank
It's
you.
only re-elected?
Mayor Brown.
Thank you, Council President Tunis. That has a nice ring to it. I'm gonna like saying that. Council has been provided a copy of the engagement letter for the Kilkenny firm. I'm asking you to confirm the appointment of the legal officer.
I move to confirm the appointment of Sean Kilkenny Esquire in the law offices of Sean Kilkenny. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish the sentence, sorry. As the legal officer for Upper Darby Township pursuant to their engagement letter dated December 30th, 2023.
I'll second.
A motion has been made and duly seconded. Any discussion?
Do we have a roll call vote?
Is there any discussion? Okay, can we please have a roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Banto?
Yes.
Branis?
Yes.
Andrusko?
No.
Wentz?
No.
Silva?
No.
Blackwell?
It's the engagement for
Oh, okay, sure, yes.
Okay, that's a yes for Kilkenny?
Councilor Backwell, was that a yes?
For Kilkenny?
Yes or no?
She said yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yes or no, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear those people down there. Who are those people?
The vote is 7-3, so the law firm of Kilkenny will continue as solicitor.
Thank you. Mayor Brown, would you like to introduce the next item on the agenda?
Yes, thank you, Council President Tunis. Crandall Jones is an ICMA certified manager who holds a Master's of Public Administration and has decades of experience in municipal government. I would like to appoint him as the Chief Administrative Officer effective February 26, 2024, at a salary of $191,000 per year.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Crandall Jones, Chief Administrative Officer, effective February 26th, 2024, at a salary of $191,000 a year.
Second.
I have a comment.
A motion has been made and duly seconded. Any discussion? Councilor Wentz?
Yes, I think we did get a chance to meet him in an interview realm. He seemed very qualified for the job, which is great. I am greatly concerned with the salary at $191,000 when we are on the verge of bankruptcy. And it's not just his salary, but there is also a deputy CAO in the equation, and between the two of them, it takes us over $300,000 for a position that was once held by one person at around $150,000. So we are on the end, and it does not include any other department heads that have yet to be brought forward to be approved by council. So therefore, I think he's qualified for the job. I'm concerned about the salary with our finances the way they are in the township. So that's my concern. And the salary is set by council, just as a clarification.
Councilor Andrusko?
Thank you, President Tunes. Yeah, I actually had the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Jones today. He's a very nice gentleman, and as Councilor Wentz said, I think he has qualifications for this position as well. And Mayor Brown, I understand your desire to invest in your administration. That being said, we are entering 2024 without an official budget in place. And to Councilor Wentz's point, the salary of $191,000, I believe, is about $50,000 more than what is currently in the 2023 budget. So I would have concerns about that, and I would hope that all other councilors would consider that on this vote tonight.
Thank you, Councilor Andrusko. Councilor Heyman? Yeah, I'm sorry, Vice President Heyman.
It's okay. I'll get used to it too, someday. I just want to make a comment. I recognize that this represents a noticeable increase from what was originally budgeted for the item. What I will say is that I am quite familiar with what the position should pay. While I didn't know Crandall before meeting with him during this process, I am incredibly impressed. He's got more experience as a municipal manager than I have in life. He's been in service since before I was even born. He's got great experience. His work shows in the municipalities that he's served. And he's a great guy. He is more than qualified for this position. While I recognize this is expensive, it's less than many other municipalities of equivalent size or smaller pay. And at the end of the day, you get what you pay for, and I believe that we deserve it.
Thank you, Councilor Heyman. If there are no further discussion, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Heyman,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Tunis,
Yes.
Banto,
I say yes to that.
You have to
Branis,
Yes.
You have to say.
Andrusko,
No.
Wentz,
I'm a yes to the individual and a no to the salary.
It's not an answer.
It's not a split.
I'm a yes to the individual, and I am a no to the salary, because the salary is linked into this motion.
So the answer is no. So that's no.
Because it's linked into the motion, I am a yes for the gentleman, I am a no for the salary. It should have been two separate questions.
Okay.
The
We're in the
appointment
middle
should
of
have been
counting
separate
votes.
from-
I think this is out of order.
The appointment should have been separate from the salary.
Councilors,
The salary
councilors.
is a separate
all right.
issue.
Councilor Wentz, your vote is on the record.
Is no.
Can we please
It's
move
a
forward?
yes for the individual and a no for the salary. It's very clear. To
No.
me, it's two separate issues.
Silva, please.
I'm going to vote yes for Mr. Jones.
Blackwell? Yes, okay. All right, so that is 8-2. Motion carries.
Thank you. That brings us to old business. The first item for discussion
I
is...
have a
an-
point of order.
Pardon me?
Point of order. In the point of order, at the reorganization meeting is when we are also supposed to appoint department heads. Department heads are supposed to be approved by council, as per the Home Rule Charter and the Administrative Code. But yet there are no department heads on this agenda. When will the department heads be brought before council for approval? Because they can't start the job without the approval of council.
Councilor Wentz, there are no department heads that are being voted tonight for approval. That is a question you can ask Mayor Ed Brown following this meeting. I will be moving forward to
So
old
they will
business.
not be starting tomorrow?
Councilor Wentz? Councilor Wentz? Councilor Wentz?
There's no changes. The people that are in place will remain in place. So we'll handle that later, okay?
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you.
Okay. That brings us to old business. The first item for the discussion is an adjustment of the January 2024 meeting schedule. The committee meeting was originally scheduled for tomorrow night, January 3rd. It makes more sense with new members being sworn in to move the meeting to Wednesday, January 10th. Is there a motion on the floor to amend the schedule?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second that.
I have a comment.
Pardon me?
I have a comment for discussion.
What's your comment?
So my concern is we have yet to have a budget presentation. There is a tax levy ordinance on this agenda with no budget presentation. I would think that we would need tomorrow for a budget presentation in order to have the proper timing for 2 public hearings that have to happen no less than 2 weeks after the budget presentation as per the Home Rule Charter and the Administrative Code. So without the meeting on tomorrow, how exactly, is there enough time within the month of January to get the budget passed, the budget hearings, the 2 budget hearings that must happen? It can't happen on the same day. A budget hearing cannot happen on the same day as the budget presentation, right? So we need a budget presentation, yes. We need 2 public hearings, and then we also need the approval of the budget. So if you lose this Wednesday as a potential day for a budget presentation, how is it that you're going to have the tax levy approved in time for the tax bills to go out by January 31st?
Okay, so we heard your question and concern. We're going to let our solicitor answer.
The Home Rule Charter and the Administrative Code actually have no specific provision for reopening the budget. So when that goes into effect, we go to the first-class Township Code, which is what Upper Darby was before it became Home Rule. In the first-class Township Code, there is a requirement for 1 budget hearing.
Thank you, Solicitor.
Actually, that's not true.
The motion on the floor. The motion on the floor is to change the January committee meeting from January 3rd to January 10th. Motion was made by Councilor Silva and seconded by Councilor Billups. All those in favor?
Aye.
No?
All opposed?
No? I'm opposed.
We heard you. We heard you.
1 opposed, the rest are yeas.
Okay.
No, we can close this meeting to our meeting tomorrow.
There is clarification in the budget.
The next agenda item is the introduction of Ordinance 3149. Solicitor, can we please get a reading of the ordinance?
Now therefore be it resolved, hereby enacted and ordained by Township Council of Upper Darby, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, it is enacted and ordained the authority as follows. 1, that a tax be the same as hereby levied on all property and occupations within the said township, subject to taxation for the township purposes for the fiscal year 2024 as follows. Tax rate for general fund purposes, the sum of 13.75 mils on each $1,000 of assessed valuation. For debt purposes, 0.46 mils on each $1,000 of assessed valuation. The same being summarized in tabular form as follows. Tax rate for general fund purposes, 13.75. Tax rate for debt purposes, 0.46. Total tax rate, 14.21. Section 2, providing for the fees and collection and disposal of refuse set forth in Section 461-18 of the Code of Ordinances. The owner of record of any residence building shall be charged a sum of $315 for each dwelling unit contained in such residence building for the collection of refuse for the residence building. And Section 3, increasing the sewer rates and charges set forth in Section 45-1A of the Code of Ordinances, 1 for the said single or charge based upon the following rates in accordance with the following classifications. 1, single family dwelling unit, $275. Apartment unit, $275. 3, apartment house for each apartment unit, $275. 4, public business, commercial or industrial users for the first 60,000 gallons of water annually, $275. Amending 454-1B, public business, commercial, or industrial users shall pay at the rate of $275 per unit. There is a severability and an inconsistency clause. Thank you very much. That concludes my reading.
Thank you, Solicitor Kilkenny. Is there a motion on the floor to introduce?
I move that we introduce and advertise ordinance 3149 and set a
second.
budget for 6 p.m. on Wednesday, January 10th.
I have this comment.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilor
Yes.
Heyman? Councilor Heyman? Councilor Heyman.
Councilwoman Wentz has a comment.
I'm sorry, Councilor Wentz?
Yes, I do not believe it's appropriate to introduce an ordinance of tax levy prior to actually having the budget presentation for 2024. We, in December, because the mayor vetoed a balanced budget, the mayor at the time vetoed a balanced budget, we did not move forward with the tax levy that pertained to that particular budget. It is inappropriate to move forward with a tax levy without having the actual budget presented to council and the residents of this township.
Thank you, Councilor Wentz.
President Tunis, I'd like to make a motion to amend the millage rate for ordinance 3149 to 13.56 for general fund purposes by using $810,000 in ARPA revenue replacement funds. That'd be a reduction of 0.19 mils from the 13.75 in the current ordinance. And I move to amend ordinance 3149 by striking out the 13.75 millage rate for general fund purposes, replacing it with 13.56 for general fund purposes. This would bring our total millage rate with the debt service to 14.02.
Does the person who made the motion for the ordinance and the person who seconded accept that amendment?
I didn't second it yet, but yes, second.
Yes, I second.
Time for comment, Council President.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilor Andrusko?
Vice President Heyman, could you clarify that dollar amount you said for the ARPA again?
$810,000.
And is that money that is from interest, or has that been allocated and you want to move it back to this ordinance?
Oh, thanks. I believe that's from funds that have been allocated. I move back to this.
Funds that have been allocated? Do you know which allocations you plan on taking them from?
Offhand, I do not.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Offhand, I don't.
Does anybody from the administration know which funds that would be coming from?
That would be under discussion. So with the introduction of that, we would have to do a separate ordinance that would be introduced and advertised on the 10th for a vote. So that's something that would still be up for discussion, and I would imagine that council would send through the finance committee.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
So I have a question. So it's going to be up for discussion. Does that mean it's going to go through the solicitor again as well, or?
I'm sorry, Councilor Blackwell, what would go through the solicitor?
If it's going to be up for discussion again, is it going to go through the solicitor, or we as
Yes,
council are going to?
all of our ordinances go through the solicitor when being drafted, yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, Councilor Silva?
Yeah, thank you. So in this in ordinance 3149, it says, whereas 2 public hearings were held on the budget in 2023, and an additional public hearing was held in 2024. It mentions the budget many times. It seems somewhat disingenuous when the public hearings about the budget were about different budgets. There were many public hearings about many budgets, but none of them are this one. You were the one that was just proposed recently. So I am deeply concerned. I personally cannot vote for a tax levy for a non-existent budget when clearly, by this document's very design, it clearly suggests that there is a budget, it's been publicly considered, publicly reviewed, and we've gotten feedback on it. None of that has actually happened. So I apologize, I will be a no on this, and I urge my colleagues to do the same.
Thank you, Councilor Silva.
I have a question
Councilor
on the
Wentz?
amendment. I have a question on the amendment. There was an amendment that Vice President Heyman made to this. I'm sorry, I wasn't very clear on what the amendment was. What
Councilor
exactly
Heyman.
did you reset? What did you move the numbers to? I couldn't hear you clearly. The sound is not great in this space.
Councilor Wentz, my motion was to amend the budget and to release $810,000 of American Rescue Plan funding that has previously been allocated to this budget.
$810,000?
$810,000.
$810,000 released for what? How does that have, what does that have to do with the tax levy itself?
Counselor Wentz, I can't hear your statement, I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to understand what the amendment was. This is a tax levy for a budget that we have yet to see. So I'm not sure what $810,000 has to do with the tax levy itself and how it calculates to the rate needed to pay for the general fund purposes, the debt purposes, and the total tax rate.
I would like to defer the answer to that question to our acting CEO, Dobbins, if she can make any comments, but my understanding, this is essentially very with some minor adjustments, it's the same budget that was introduced by the administration in October of last year.
Yes. So, Councilor Wentz, I believe your question to Councilor Heyman is what is going on with the $810,000, correct?
Yes, and
Okay,
how does that
so-
apply to the tax levy ordinance that's in our hands?
Yes. So, Councilor Heyman had come to the administration and the mayor-elect and raised some concerns about the amount of the tax levy, right? That the tax increase would be, while not as significant as the most recent budget presented by council, it's still pretty significant. And so that was what was discussed between, and that is, I believe, how Councilor Heyman has arrived at moving to amend the presentation, or the budget, or the ordinance.
So don't we still need a presentation on the budget so that everyone actually understands what this tax levy is about? Because it does not make any sense to vote on a tax levy ordinance with whatever adjustments that are being suggested, even though we haven't actually seen the budget specifically.
So just to be clear, what we're doing tonight would be to move to introduce and advertise the ordinance. You're not voting to pass the ordinance, you're simply giving it a chance.
I'm
The
well
second
aware
thing,
of what introduction and advertisement is, but if it's
Councilman,
not...
if you could please let the acting CEO.
President Tony.
Because it's
Happy.
condescending.
1 second, please, Counselor. Acting CEO Allison Dobbins has the floor, okay? Please allow her to answer the question.
so with everything that happened with the version of the budgets in December of 2023, what is being introduced now is the original budget with some minor changes, thanks to the hard work of the finance team, that was introduced in October of 2023, and that there were 2 hearings on that version of the budget. Very minor changes have happened since then, which is typical during a budget process. And then the motion, I believe, included having a budget hearing on January 10th, so there will be additional time for comment, with the chance to then pass this ordinance and set the millage rate on January 17th.
So just clarify, the second budget hearing that did take place in the fall, as per the Keffer's original budget, was not actually about her original budget. It was about an earned income tax. The entire budget hearing was about the earned income tax and was not at all discussed. Her original budget was not at all discussed.
Yes,
So
and as Solicitor Kilkenny explained, because he explained it to me as well prior to this meeting, we only have the requirement of 1 budget hearing.
I would like to call the
Federal charter
question.
requires
Yeah, I'd like
I would like to call the question.
I'll second that if that's a motion.
There's a motion on the floor to call the question. Could I please have a roll call vote?
Heyman,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Tunis,
Yes.
Banto,
Yes.
Branis,
Yes.
Andrusko,
Yes.
Wentz,
yes to call the question. This is specifically to call the question.
Silva,
Yes to call the question.
Blackwell.
Now we have to vote on the motion.
It passes.
No, the calling of the question.
So
is
the
passed.
call the question is passes. Councilor Wentz, could you please allow me to run the meeting?
Go for it.
So the motion, the amendment on the floor, Councilor Heyman, could you restate it for council members? The amendment?
Can you say that again?
Councilor Heyman, could you restate the amendment on the floor?
Sure. So I'm motioning to amend Ordinance 3149 by striking out the 13.75 millage rate for general fund purposes and replacing it with 13.56 for general fund purposes, bringing our total millage rate with debt service to 14.02 mils. And I'm amending to release $810,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funding for that purpose.
Okay, the motion was made by Councilor Heyman, seconded by Councilor Billups. We had our discussion. We will now vote on amendment ordinance 3149, which will strike 13.75 and replace it with 13.56 as the millage rate for general fund purposes. Can I please have a roll call vote?
Before you do that, President Tunis, just to clarify, this is to introduce and advertise. And then our budget meeting will be on the 10th at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Secretary Billups, for that clarification. Could we please have a roll call vote?
Heyman,
Yes.
Billups,
Yes.
Minnick,
Yes.
Tunis,
Yes.
Banto,
Yes.
Branis,
Yes.
Andrusko,
Yes.
Wentz,
No.
Silva,
No.
Blackwell. 7-2, so it passes.
Motion carried. Thank you. I would like to call up Pastor Nathaniel Goodson of Prayer Chapel Church of God in Christ to do the benediction.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm not sure whether you're clapping for me or clapping that this is the benediction. Both, all right. For every ending, there is a beginning. For every memory, there is a dream ahead. As we conclude this ceremony, may we forever be in awe of all that had to happen in our lives for us to be here right now. May we walk the walk of compassion and bring compassion to the center of our lives. May we cultivate the capacity to see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all people, no matter how different, with the reverence they deserve. May we live a purpose bigger than ourselves, understanding that when we do, you and I will begin to transcend our limitations and discover ourselves to be far greater than we have ever imagined. May we recognize that our lives will be measured not by the titles we carry, but by the number of hearts we heal and the lives we transform. May we be vigilant, such that in our toil and labor of service, our hearts don't become hardened, our eyes don't become blind, and we don't forget where we came from, nor neglect those we are meant to serve. May we realize that change doesn't magically happen, that everything worthy requires effort and sacrifice, that in order to accomplish things we never accomplished, to become people we never been, we must make sacrifices we never made and do things we've never done. May we always be mindful that the thoughts we dwell on become us, and that everything you and I put out in this world is coming back. Indeed, what you do unto others will be done unto you even more. It's already done. May we walk away from this gathering determined to find ways to inspire life, absorb the inspiration of others, and become an inspiration. May we walk away with the will and courage to move beyond ourselves and leave our mark on this beloved community and all of earth. May I leave you with what has been called the change of command prayer. May the Spirit of the Father be near you to defend you, within you to refresh you, around you to preserve you, before you to guide you, behind you to justify you, and above you to bless you forevermore. Go in peace.
Thank you. Pastor Goodson, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, no, absolutely.